Yes, my people. You know, it's one of those days where you just don't feel like getting out of bed. And you know what? It's okay. It's okay to feel like that. And more importantly, it's okay to listen. There's such a massive, huge misconception of these people that throw around, are you being lazy or are you procrastinating? And sometimes you get on the phone and then one of the first things someone will say to you, mainly a loved one or a friend, is, "Are you keeping busy, yeah?" Like to say being busy is the only thing you should be doing. Yeah, well, it's not the case, man. Rest is where the growth lays, and there's a couple of things that have inspired me to do this video today. It's a few conversations I've had with people, just trying to reassure people that it's okay to not do anything. In fact, it's very nourishing to not do anything. It doesn't matter if it's a day. It doesn't matter if it's a week. It doesn't even matter if it's a month. It doesn't even matter if it's a year. If that's what if that's the calling, if that's the feeling, it means that's what you've got to do. You've got to rest. And, the people know that, man. That's why we're kept busy. That's why we're, if we're not working, we're watching the TV. If we're not watching the TV, we're reading the newspaper. If we're not reading the newspaper, we're on this phone. It's to keep the mind just constantly polluted. That's why I'm an advocate for meditation. Just for an hour or so, 2 hours a day, where you're able to just rest. That video is coming, by the way. I'm going to talk about meditation, and I am getting started on the meditation, online meditation that I talked about the other day. So that's coming very soon. But again, for me personally, I've said I'm going to get this done, but I'm not rushing. Yeah, it is for the people. I am going to be doing it for the people, but I come first. My well-being comes first, and I'm very in tune right now. And I listen to myself. I listen to my body. If I feel like staying in bed, I stay in bed. If I say I'm going to do something, to myself, if I say I'm going to do something on this date and that date comes and it's just not the vibe, I'm not going to force myself to do it. So, and this was the time, we were told to go inside and stay inside. Some people got the memo, some people didn't. Yeah, this is the universal thing. The universe gave us the signs. Just like they gave us the signs over the many, many years, We got the sign to get back to nature. So many signs we got told to get back to nature. Just remember, nature's inside of you, yeah? That's where the real nature is. Yes, being outside in nature is good for you. But the reason why being outside in nature is good for you, because it connects you back to yourself. It connects you back to your inner self. That's why it's good for you. Yeah. The reason why, the sign was there to stop watching the TV. Yeah. Is so that you can connect to your inner self again. The reason why the sign was there to, go vegan, go plant-based, to stop consuming animals, to start eating more green foods, more fruits, is because it connects you back to your inner self. All of that other stuff is it blocks you, all the processed foods. Yeah. It creates blockages inside of you. When you stop consuming these things abundantly, these blockages release. And you start realizing things that you never knew before, and you start being connected to people that you never thought that you would meet. You start mingling with people that you couldn't even imagine their kind of minds could have existed, So all of these things, music, yeah, good frequency music, picking up an instrument, singing, even if you feel you can't sing, but you're singing, you're dancing, art, yoga, exercise, all these things, these are heart actions. These connect you back to your inner self. These remind you, this wakens the inner self, brings you back to the moment. And that's what we have to do more of consistently. It raises your vibes. And, this brings me on to, current affairs of what's going on. Something I've always been an advocate for is, I say always, or since I started my journey back in 2013, which is when I started, that felt good. When I started taking action upon the knowledge that I'd been researching. I've been an advocate for health and wellness, raising the vibes. Eating more alkaline foods rather than acidic foods. Alkaline being fruits, veggies, certain nuts and seeds. And your acidic foods being your processed foods, your soy, your corn, your seitan, your meat, your animal flesh, your dairy, your milk, your cheese, the butter, your pasta, your rice, the sugars. And I don't mean fruit sugars. Yeah, don't listen to that myth. Fruits are good for you at all times. But all that junk food, it's all acidic. And the more of that you consume, the further away you come from your inner self, from nature. The more alkaline foods you consume, the closer the more in touch you are with your inner self. Same with like the alcohol, the drugs. It's an escape. It's an escape from dealing with the inner self. That's what it is. And it's time to stop. Always has been time, but we get signs. Sometimes we ignore the signs, sometimes we take heed of them. But this is just another sign for somebody who's ready to take it. And that's all I'm here for. I just keep on giving signs. Don't get me wrong, listen, I'm not no saint. I've ignored plenty of signs in my time. And I will continue to do that. That's just life, you know. But I've got into the habit of seeing the signs and taking action. And I'm just better at it than I used to be. Doesn't mean I'm perfect at it. Yeah, and as I was saying, coming back onto what's happening at the moment and what has been happening, the signs were there, man. We got told to go inside. We got told to stay inside. Some people took the memo. Some people understood the sign. Yeah. It meant get back to nature. It meant go in. Go in. You know, many people require to be in their yard to go inside. But that was a direct message from the universe. Yeah, we may sit here and mock, you know, the government and all this sort of stuff for telling us like what to do because, you know, I'm an advocate for doing what you want, you know, not doing as you're told. But I'm also an advocate for understanding the messages and where they're coming from. Yeah. And something I've been very consistent with is letting you know what going inside meant. Yeah, and it means going inside, going in, going back into your heart, doing the things that bring you back to the moment and prevent you from looking outside of yourself for change, because it's an inside job. And that's what this virus, this thing has allowed so many people to do. People to reconnect with themselves. Oh, there are many that have they're just gone. Like it's beyond. They didn't come to this life to connect. They came to this life to be a disruption. They came in this life to be tests for people. Yeah, that's just how it is. It doesn't matter how much you speak to them. It doesn't matter how much you try to, you know, give them love. They're still on a complete, absolute mash-up session for themselves and for people around them. But that's okay, because these are people to learn from. These are people to teach you lessons, and you must be grateful for them. We must be grateful for everything. And as I was saying to somebody earlier, it's not possible to be positive all the time. It's not possible to be positive about everything, but it is possible to be grateful for everything. And that's what we should be trying to do. That's what we should be practicing to do, because we can be grateful for the not so great things that are happening in our lives, because we can be grateful for the lessons that they are teaching us, whether that be death, whether that be a bad day at work, whether that be when I say death, I mean like, a death in the family or such. Whether, you're having a bad day, whether you're having a relapse, you've been off the drink and drugs and all that, but you have this one day and you're just finding yourself knee deep in it again. That's okay. You can be grateful for that because it's a test. It's you can be grateful for the time that you haven't done it, and you can be grateful for this time that you have, because you know that you're trying. We're here to try. We're not here to beat ourselves up for trying. Okay? And we're not here to do it all at once. We're here to do our bit to then pass on to the next generations. That's all. It's like, yes, it's a burden. We're trying to undo all of this stuff we're trying to undo all of these bad habit patterns, and from our life, from our past lives. We're trying to come out of all these habits that we've been taught by our parents. We're trying to undo a lot, but it doesn't mean we have to undo everything. Like, give yourself a break, one day at a time, moment to moment. You just do your best. It just so happens that now is the time, those that have known me for many, many years, I've been telling people, get yourself ready, get your vibrations high. Stop doing this, do more of this. Because there's going to be challenging times ahead. Those of you that are new to my life, you would have instantly understood where I'm coming from, and it is time. That's why you've that's why we've crossed paths now. That's why you've crossed paths with other people that you never knew before, because we're all here trying to walk each other home, and now more than ever it's an important time, because the frequencies are changing rapidly. So we got the hint. We got the hint to go inside, and those of us that have done the work, when the next, quote unquote lockdown comes in, we're going to be ready for that, because our frequency is high. It doesn't matter where you are. Our frequency is high enough to be able to deal with the energy shift that is about to come down on us. And we'll be able to ride the wave, Many, 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 many people won't be able to ride the wave. And this is why we have to learn the art of observing, accepting, and moving on, which is something I'm going to be getting into on my new website when it comes to the meditation courses I was talking about. I'm going to be offering a tool for people to learn this art of living. Because right now, if you are attached to something, it's time to start learning the process of detachment. Whether that is a friend, a family member, a favorite TV show, a favorite restaurant, a favorite hobby, because you came into this earth alone. You know, you came into this life alone, on your one, and you will leave on your one. So you must connect back to the one, and that is you. And another reason it's important for you to connect to yourself, as I said earlier on, I come first, innit? And the reason I come first, because if I don't put myself first, then I'm not going to be able to be of the strength that I require to be for others. Yeah, I have to be at my optimum, my best, and then that allows me to be at the highest state of being, to be able to be there for others.
Beautiful.
Beautiful lady.
So yeah, it's about raising your frequency. And this can be done so quickly, you know, it really can. And I'm really here to advise people. Honestly, guys, I can't advocate it enough. And I know you've been getting the signs. Just ease up, man. Stop consuming death. Consuming death can only lead to illness and death. It's not a good state of affairs for your mind, body and soul when you are consuming depression, when you're consuming dead flesh. It's really not. And also this is not just a message for the meat eaters, even the vegans. That dead food, you know, all of that junk. We've all been there. The soy, the corn, the seitan. I mean, the name of that. I mean, come on, the sign is there. You know what I mean about the signs? Like, the sign is there. Yeah, seitan. Like, come on, like, you shouldn't be eating that. Yeah, you know, it's mad. Like, I'm here to remind you to ease up off that. I'm not telling you to stop. It's not easy to stop immediately. It's not. I'm just another sign for you to really start thinking about just easing up on it, at least. Start loving your body again. Start loving the vessel. Start loving the soul. Start loving the mind, because it's asking for it. That's why you're still here. I don't even know how long this video has been going on. But that's why you're still here and you're still listening, because you feel it. There's a vibration that is trying to connect with you, and you find yourself still here listening to this message because there's another force at hand making sure that you listen to this sign. Or you may be here for the first time, and you may be hearing this for the first time, and this is like planting a seed in you, so that when somebody else speaks like this, you're like, yeah, do you know what? Or it might be the third time somebody speaks like this to you, or the fourth or the fifth, and you're like, do you know what? This is the time now. Let me look into this further. Let me go and do my own research now. It's time. But yeah, I don't really need to go much further. The moral of this story is take time. You don't always have to be busy. Procrastination, it's not a bad thing. They make it sound like it's a bad thing, but it's really not. If you are not doing anything because you don't feel like doing something, there's a clear sign there. And it's coming from something deep inside. And you need to listen to it. It's imperative that you listen to it. Otherwise, it's just going to be another day around the corner coming where you're going to be feeling ill. You're going to be feeling anxious. You're going to be feeling down. You're going to be feeling depressed. You may even be feeling that now. But the reason why you're feeling that is because you haven't been resting. And you need to take this time to do so. Yeah. Listen to the signs. One love, people. I feel like getting up now, do I? I don't know. Let's see. I'm just going to relax here for a little while longer. And just be grateful that I'm able to do this. It doesn't matter. I'm able to do this. This is something that I'm able to do. Some people right now, they don't even have a roof over their head. Yeah, I've been there. They don't have a bed. Well, I currently have 3 beds to sleep in. I've got the choice of 3 beds to sleep in. It's amazing. Thanks, James. Thanks, Nat. Brilliant. Gratitude, man. Gratitude. Oh, by the way, like, beds to myself. Just so you know. Yeah. Shout out to my boy James. He's currently down in London. He's smashing it out, trying to distribute the good frequencies. If you guys want your fruits, if you want your veggies, yeah, go and visit Vital Pantry on the Insta. Go and make your order. Yeah, the tropical fruits, the good vibes. And they come in with good vibes of meditating around the fruits, We're laughing around the fruits and the veggies. It's just good energy coming in a box to you, direct to your door. So you can stay in, do the inner work. And the good vibes, they come direct to your door. So yeah, little shameless plug there for my brother. And also, let me shout out everybody that has been doing the inner work. Well done, man. Smashed it. I'm not here to boost your ego. I'm here to just acknowledge, because it's not easy. It's not an easy journey. But I got love for everyone, and especially those doing the work, because that's what we came here to do, man. That's what we came here to do. More life, more power, one love, every time. And it's true, man, honestly. Whoever's listening to this, it doesn't matter if we've had, you know, if we've had an argument, if we haven't seen eye to eye, like, I've still got mad love for you, innit? Yeah. We're all going through our stuff. It's like this, this is something I want to finish off with this. So imagine we're born, right? And especially like our generation, we're like born into this world. We come from darkness, from our mother's womb, and then we're exposed. We come out and we're exposed to these artificial lights, and we're severed from our source, literally severed instantly. Like our placenta, the placenta is just cut. That's the thing that has been feeding us for 9 months solid. Feeding us the emotions, feeding us the food, feeding us the frequencies, feeding us everything that we require to get to come out and be at one with what's going on. But then that gets severed as soon as we come out. And then ever since that moment, we are then taken further and further away from source through the conditioned minds of our parents, through the conditioned minds of the society, through the nursery, the play school, then the school, then the college, then the university, then the 9 to 5s, the TV, the media, the music, all of it designed to keep us distracted from ourselves, to look for change outside of ourselves. And then one day, we are graced again with a small taste, a small dose of what the source tastes like. And then from that moment on, we are then battling our way back through to the source. But it's a harder journey, because to get to that point of where we've just been given a dose of what the source tastes like, we were unconscious up until that point. Now we are consciously going back to the source. And to consciously do something takes a lot more work than to unconsciously do something. I should say subconsciously, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I won't go on anymore. I've been told people actually enjoy these longer videos now, so yeah, maybe I don't have to cut them down. Thank you all very much for your feedback on these. I'm really appreciating the feedback, and I'm happy that they're working for people. I really am. So yeah, respect. If you're laying in bed now, embrace it, man. If you're feeling low, embrace that. It's a feeling. It should be respected just as much as the feeling of feeling good. Yeah, give just as much as respect to each. They're just sensations, bro. Love. Blood fire, 34 minutes.